Hello love warriors and welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to be doing this video with you guys. It was requested, so I cannot wait to get into it. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is I Just Flow and I am a life coach and a spiritual guide. And what do we do here? Basically, we talk about how to increase your vital energy so that you can create harmonious, loving, peaceful relationships. So as you guys can see in the title, we are going to be breaking down the Diddy case from a spiritual lens. We're not really breaking down the case. I will leave the case details in the description box, but we're just going to be taking an overview from a spiritual lens. And it is not random, actually. Well, it is kind of random, but it's not random because this video was actually requested of me. So I was like, that's interesting. Yes, I think I can do that. So let's get into it. How are you guys doing, by the way? I am good. Let's do a quick check-in. I feel good today. Super good. Yesterday I was a little bit irritated, but I was good. So I was good, but I was irritated. You know, when there's just something that's just not coming together with everything, so you're kind of like frustrated. So I made sure to do all my spiritual practices, all my routines, all my self-care like tactics yesterday, and I woke up like bam. Energetic. So I thought, okay, with all this energy, it's the perfect time to do the video, so let's get into it. How about you guys? Are you guys feeling good? Are you guys feeling down? There was a new moon in Gemini yesterday, so it could be new chapters, new things awakening in you that you thought you healed or you didn't realize and they were hidden and now they're coming up, and you're now like, okay, what intentions am I setting for the next 2 weeks or the next month so that we can deal with this? But yeah, what are you guys into? Let me know in the comments. All right, I'm excited, so let's get into it. I broke it down in questions because I feel like it's easier like that to take the overview from a question-based scenario. So, all right, when does love cross the line into control? And how do we recognize it early, especially when it's wrapped in luxury, promises, or protection? So remember, throughout the episode, throughout the video, I will be taking the lens of soulful relationships and power dynamics. Okay, so when does love cross the line into control? Love typically crosses the line into control when we've lost control of the deepest parts of ourselves. So as babies, as children, we learn how to self-regulate and we learn how to come back into alignment from our environment. They teach us how to deal with certain things. And when we don't have that self-regulation and we don't have that alignment, it typically turns into chaos, manipulation, deception, trying to get attention in a way that fuels and fills that void or that disalignment. Things like instant gratification, whether positive attention, negative attention, as long as you have attention in that moment, it's a distraction from what you really want. Because you no longer know what you want because it's been ignored for so long that when you get that attention, okay, let me make it a concrete. So when you get that attention, like, hey, why are you doing that? Or hey, do this. It now feels like I got attention. It feels like it's stimulating. It releases hormones in you. It makes you like wide-eyed and ooh, okay, they paid attention to me. So that's when it starts going into control, love turning into control, because you're now meeting certain requirements are being met within your body and within you that are not necessarily love, but that feel like love because you've gotten so used to not receiving love. I hope that makes sense, guys. So it starts looking like love because it starts looking like what your environment was actually giving you, which was chaos and lack of attention. So when they do give you attention, you're like, oh, okay, at least I'm not being ignored. So those are the early signs when you go back to childhood or when you go back to your requirements not being met. And let's go into the Maslow's hierarchy. Maslow's hierarchy, root chakra, safety, security, foundation, right? When your foundation is one of lack of attention, um, stress, um, disregard, neglect, then anything that is the opposite of those um, of neglect, disregard, is going to feel like love to you because you never really receive that true, authentic, peaceful, harmonious love. So what you did receive is going to now be the foundation of who you are. How do we recognize it early? We recognize it early. You guys know me. Take the time to sit, to reflect, to be present, to breathe. See? That that took you out of being present, being peaceful, being harmonious, being gentle, being nurturing, being just being. That is an early sign. When you come out of, wow, this is nice. When things start to crumble, and crumbling, it can start with one piece of one argument. You can tell by your first argument where this relationship is going to go. If I have to go back and think of my first argument with my partner, it was messy. I'm not even gonna lie, it was messy. It was kind of like, okay, I'm walking out. If that's how you're gonna talk to me, then fine, bye. And that was both of us. But then actually we had someone that came and checked in on both of us, so that was nice, right? So having a good support system is nice. And then the way we made up, coming together and actually communicating what we found disrespectful, what we didn't like, why it exploded, why it got out of hand. So the way you guys argued, the environment you have, your support system, and the way you guys communicate when you're making up, those will all be factors foreshadowing what the rest of your relationship is going to look like. And for me and my partner, we actually barely had arguments, but when we did have arguments, they tended to be like, bro, you're annoying. Like, what the hell? Don't talk to me. But my partner is also someone, as we grew up together, that no, let's talk about it now. Let's communicate now. Let's fix it now. And for someone that's kind of like used to hiding her emotions, I had to learn, okay, I can share my emotions with this person in a sane, in a good intentional way. The intentions. Intentions are the easiest thing to detect because you'll be able to see from body language. You'll be able to sense it from energy. You'll be able to hear it. You'll be able to see it. Use all your senses when it comes to being with this person. And that means being present with this person because when you first start dating, you're kind of in that honeymoon phase, they say, right? I say honeymoon phase never ends, right? The honeymoon phase is never supposed to end, right? You should always be in that honeymoon phase. But notice how you are with that person when you melt into their arms, when you feel safe, when you feel heard, when you feel like you can communicate authentically. And then when you feel like you need to hide parts of yourself, that's when there's a sense of control there. That's when I can't tell this person this because they're gonna react like this, and then this is gonna happen, and this is gonna happen, and it's gonna escalate, and da 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 da. And you can get that information from your first argument. Your first argument will tell you how this person reacts in stressful situations, how this person reacts when something that they don't like happens, occurs, when you don't do exactly what they want you to do. And I have examples of even people that are clients and not clients, people in my family, that when they had an argument, how their partner reacted determined the rest of the relationship. So you can notice these little things from early stages when you're talking on your first date. How's the person reacting to your reality? How are you reacting to that person's reality? Are they trying to already coach and minimize your experiences? Because there's a way to talk that, I understand. Wow. What could you have done, or what did you learn? What did that teach you? Without without looking down on someone, without judging someone. If you feel that the intention behind someone's response is okay, that's something that I don't want to have to deal with, or that's something that you're going to have to keep in check, or else it's never going to work between us, you already know that there's a sense of control there. The person's not looking at you like, oh my gosh, I love that about you. Like, it might be more peaceful if you did it this way, but that's your personality and that's how it shows up. And as long as you're being authentically you, I love that. And I would love to get to know you more in that regard and understand where it comes from and understand the roots of what actually turned you into this beautiful being that you are. That's what you want. You want when someone looks at you to see the real you, to hear the real you, to hold the real you. And the real you, the essence of you is right here, right? And so you also want to be coming up and showing up in the world from the real you, and not from manipulation, not from deception, not from, oh my gosh, I need to act like I'm here so that this person treats me here so that we get here. No, come where you are. Come as you are. Show up with who you are. Because as you showing up who you are, you get to learn so much about yourself, and you get to attract someone that shows up as they are and who they are, and you get to learn so much about that person, and you guys get to grow those things that you are inherently. But if you never learned that from a young age, there is a sense of manipulation and control and chaos because you're scared of surrendering to the feeling of love. Because when you surrender to the feeling of love, it came with neglect, it came with not being heard, it came with being pushed aside, it came with nobody cares about me. And so those are the feelings that you need to first understand and overcome and love and integrate into the wholeness of you before you can be with somebody else in a wholesome and full 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 way, I guess. Okay. How can we recognize it early, especially when it's wrapped in luxury, promises, or protection? For me, the first thing that stands out is promises, because a lot of the people around me and my clients say, okay, but he told me this. He said he was gonna be better. He said he recognizes his issues. He said he knows that I could do better than him. He said he knows that he did me dirty. He said he knows that hurt me, and that now he's gonna be there for me, and um I can come and reach out to him whenever I need him, and he will be there and he will protect me. Luxury. So that one's a little bit harder for me because me and my partner, we met when we were 20. So, well, I was 20, he was older. But he didn't have much, right? So he didn't come with luxury. He was like, I'm not going to pretend that I have luxury and then have to sustain this relationship and put myself in debt just so that I can have you, right? I'd rather come as myself, and the person that loves me is going to love me for who I am. So when it's wrapped up in luxury, promises, and protection, that's a distraction. That's a distraction from who the person really is. That's like a, oh, I got you excited with this bag. Oh, I got you excited with this vacation. Oh, I got you excited with this activity. Oh, I got your family excited. Now you love this lifestyle. I'm giving you a certain lifestyle that you love. You're in love with the lifestyle. You're not in love with the person, because if you know who that person really was, would you be with that person? Do you think that if Cassie, the way she was, really knew who Diddy was, like his full essence, how twisted his love was, and how controlling his love would be, the way she's testifying and the way she's releasing herself now, do you think the younger Cassie, if she knew she would have to go through that, would she have gone through that? Would she have wanted willingly to go through that? No. She would have wanted the less, she wanted to learn the lesson of, oh my gosh, I can love myself so intently, I can release so intently, this is what I deserve. And her husband that she has now, he is like, honestly, kudos to her. He has been there for her. He has been supporting her. He has been nourishing her. He has been helping her and holding her hand through this whole process. And that's what she needs. After going through someone that has been through controlling and restraining her freedom, she's now free to love and be who she really is. But if she knew that I'm trading my soul for luxury, I'm trading my soul for promises. And you can see some of the text. Some of the text is like, you see that he's making her promises, or you see that she wants a promise, because she's like, I'm just gonna, like, just tell me this, and and it'll all be okay. It'll all go away. But it's not true. It's not all gonna go away just from a promise. It's not gonna all go away just from a lifestyle. It's not going to all go away because he says he can protect you, when the person that's supposed to be protecting you is also the person that's breaking you down. That's why it's so important to know what is going on inside here. What was going on inside of Cassie's heart that she was attracted to P. Diddy? Because aura never lies. Essence never lies. The signs were there. The flags, the red flags were there. The triggers were there very early on. But because she was distracted, what she could see was the lifestyle, the promises, and the protection. She got lost in the sauce. She got lost in the bling bling. And so she gave up years. She gave up time. She gave up energy of herself. And in a way, she learned that those were actually precious, and it made her a better person later on. But that is energy that you had to give up to learn a very harsh lesson, and in a very twisted way. Okay. So yeah, I hope we went through that question well. Let me know in the comment section if there was something I missed there. Number 2, why do so many people stay silent about emotional or physical abuse when the relationship seems powerful from the outside? That's actually why, right? Because from the outside, everybody's telling you, oh my gosh, you guys are beautiful together. Oh my gosh, you guys are a power couple. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. You guys got it down. Oh my gosh, he does everything for you. He looks like he takes care of you. You don't have to work anymore, because she wasn't doing music anymore. She didn't have to work anymore. You're a trophy wife. Oh my gosh, like, you just look like you have the life. I wish I could have that. And so everybody is talking to you from their perspective, sorry, and everybody is kind of antagonizing you and making you feel like, are these people really going to believe me if I tell them that I'm going through physical and emotional abuse? And some people, even if you do tell them that you're going through physical and emotional abuse, they're going to be like, well, you have the lifestyle, you have the protection, you have the luxury, you have everything, so deal with it. And this has even happened in African traditional marriages. Like, as long as he's taking care of you, don't come back here. We don't want you to come back. And actually, her mom does testify as well, right? So her mom didn't want that for her either. But it gets so hard when your inner voice is suffocated by the rest of the world that you can't even express what's really going on. You can't even express the pain that you're going through. You can't even express the torture that you're going through, because who hears you? Who is going to hear you? The person that's supposed to be loving you and supposed to be by your side and supposed to be taking care of you is the person that's suffocating you the most, is the person that's taking away your essence and your energy the most. She wouldn't even have the energy to fight back. Everything we do requires energy, it requires time and effort. Every time we show up in the world, there's a piece of our soul that's showing up, and that we have to anchor and bring into this vessel, bring into this vehicle, and allow it to shine and radiate, right? Yeah, and radiate out. And so, if she cannot connect to her true essence, if she is lost, if she cannot even fathom and remember who she is in this relationship, now all she is the person that has been being abused and controlled and used and dominated by Diddy. She's no longer going to have the energy to show up as herself. She's never going to have the energy to speak up, and say, I, who is the I that is getting the I that is the I is the one that is getting beaten, is getting dragged, is getting abused, is getting tormented, is getting at the same time love. So the I is going through all these different emotions that there's no energy left to be like, I need help. I need I need to get out of this. I need support. And luckily, she was able to get out of this. But imagine there's relationships out there, guys, that people have died, that they were never able to get out of the situation, that they were tormented for years and years and years, and nobody knew. There are stories that we know, and there are stories that we're never going to know the truth of. Which makes it a lot more difficult, because this video is more for you guys to be like, oh my gosh, I need to take my energy back. I need to claim my power back. If you are someone that is getting physically or emotionally abused, you need to generate energy. I can show you how to do that. You need to generate energy, grow your energy, take your place, take up space, so that you can speak up and show your essence and be like, no, I will not deal with this anymore. I will not take this anymore. I will not go through this anymore. I am not here to be abused. I am not here to be dominated by you. If you can learn that lesson through your experiences, that person can also learn the lessons that they are supposed to learn through their experiences. You're not here to be their punching bag. The truth is, they're using you as their punching bag because of the hurt that they have in their heart. But as long as you allow them to use you as their punching bag, they will never deal with what's going on inside. Imagine you locked up solitude. Imagine you locked up a person that is used to being dominating, is used to controlling, is used to throwing money at people and having his way. You put that type of person in solitude, you put that type of person in, not even jail, because in jail you can still have control, but in solitude, they have nothing to do but look on the inside. They have no one to beat up but by themselves. And by the time they are done beating themselves up, they have to reflect. Wow, what was it that I was creating? What was it that I was hiding? What was it that I didn't want to deal with, that I was using the external world as a punching bag? That's why you need to claim your power back, so that the people that are really tormented, because his torment is just a fraction of what's going on in the inside. There were seeds and seeds and seeds planting to make Diddy the person that he is today. There was environment after environment, abuse after abuse, to make him the abuser that he is today. And so by allowing yourself to be abused, you're actually giving that person more energy, more control, more domination, more arrogance, more big head. That head needs to come down. That domination needs to come down. You need to cool down. You need to reflect. You need to come back to your essence. You need to come back into alignment, because this is not what Source wants for you. And so by you saying that for yourself, you allow the person to say that for themselves. And I'm so happy that Cassie's doing that at this point in her life and bringing new life. Like she said, this will not break me. This will not end me. I still have a lot of life to live. I still have a lot more to create. This will not be my story. She's no longer the abusee. She's the woman that took back her control and said, you know what? I'm going to be the seed that brings you down because you need to come all the way down. Rock bottom. And so I'm excited to see what's going to happen in that case. And if the external world will punish him or if he'll get away with it. Either way, the day of reckoning is coming. So let me just repeat question 2, just to make sure I answered it well. Why do so many people stay silent about emotional physical abuse when the relationship seems powerful from the outside? And then I said basically because their inner voice gets quieted and gets suffocated from what's going on in the external world and they lose themselves. So you need to build back energy. And like I said, guys, I can help you build back our energy because why? We want to live peaceful, harmonious, loving relationships for our soul's spiritual growth. That is what we're here to experience. Question 3. What's the cost of staying in a relationship that feeds your lifestyle but drains your soul? You lose your soul. You lose that connection to your soul. Like I said before, we are a vessel, we are a vehicle, we are a temple of God. Your soul is here so that you can go through that ascension process. Every lifetime that we live is to get you closer and closer and closer to source, right? You get disconnected to source so that you can experience the fullness of source and come back to source as a whole self. And your vehicle, your vessel, is one expression and one form of source. But when you feed and nourish a lifestyle and you don't feed and nourish your soul starves. And so your lifestyle leaves a space for another energy to come in, an energy of greed, an energy of lust, an energy of empowerment, an energy of, there's so many different energies out there, fill in the blank. It leaves any type of energy to come into and use your vessel, use your vehicle, use your temple as a way to feed its lifestyle, as a way to feed its hunger. And these type of energies, they never replenish, they never get full. So they're gonna keep wanting more and keep wanting more and keep shopping more and keep buying better jewelry and bigger houses and bigger cars and bigger, because that's what feeds and fuels them. When people say, oh my god, that's a beautiful, beautiful car, wow, that's what Diddy got you, girl. It just feeds that egregore. I don't know how to say egregore in English. I don't know how to say it in English. But it feeds that energy and makes the energy bigger and bigger and bigger. And now when it's feeding that energy and people compliment you on that energy, they have a way to entangle someone else in that energy and to ruin someone else's energy, because we're all connected. We're in this web of life where we're all connected. And so the way I show up in the world, it inspires and connects with you. And so if I show up in a world in a way that says greed is the best thing for you, the greed in you might resonate with that. But if you have no greed in your heart, then you're just gonna swipe and move on to the next thing. But if you have greed in your heart, we're gonna resonate together and we're gonna create a bigger energy of greed. So the cost is that you're actually fueling energies that you do not want to be fueling in this world. Energies that ignore poverty, reward material riches, that ignore the person that's sick and reward the person that is healthy. Well, that's not a good example. But I'm taking it in the sense of of the Cancer Foundation, how they will never find a cure, keep killing people, and take organs from people that, we don't know, and give them to the rich. So there's this whole black market that's happening and rewarding people that hurting people that have nothing and rewarding people that have something. And that something I'm talking about is that material something. So that's the cost of staying in these relationships, is that we lose more indigos, we lose more star seeds, we lose more energetic beings that were here to come and help bring this world into a higher vibration. And it's still happening. There's so many of us that are overcoming and that are understanding and that are reclaiming. And that's the point, right? Is that we want more people reclaiming. We want more people living the joy and the purity of who they are, and less people being abused. Okay, I think that was short and sweet. When we watch high profile when we watch high profile people fall from grace, what does it awaken in us about our own wounds, shadow, or hidden fantasies? Um Sometimes watching high profile people fall from grace, especially if you're coming from the energy like waha idolizing, it can be very shocking, because you're like, damn, like I idolize this person, I love this person, that person was great. I never really liked Diddy, like he has some good songs, but I was like, that guy is just there, like we don't really care about you. But maybe it's that energy that we don't really care about you that made him feel like, he had to dominate and make people care about him, right? So what does it awaken in us about our own wounds? That we have to deal with them as soon as possible, that we need to cater to them. Well, this is from my perspective and from helping my clients. Like, you need to deal with this today. You need to acknowledge this today. You need to embrace this today. Because if you do it today, you'll be able to do it tomorrow. You'll be able to do it tomorrow. You'll be able to do it consistency. You'll know when things are out of whack and how to bring them back to the surface. You'll know how to work with your double. We call it the shadow self, but we have two aspects to ourselves, right? And we want to be like, the ego is ruining my life, but that's not true. The ego was here to help you live your life. It's just that a bruised ego bruises, a hurt ego hurts. But the ego is here to work with the soul so that you can live the life that you're truly meant to live. Like, if you had a soul but no personality, then why are you here on earth? Just go live in heaven or go live in the higher dimension, right? Which, we all will eventually get to. But I think the fun part is us being able to be in this vessel, being in three dimensional and experiencing that I can touch a plant, that a plant can touch me, that I can play with my daughter, that I can do all these things that I wouldn't be able to do in the next dimension, right? So what does it awaken in us? That we need to come and reintegrate all the parts of ourselves so that we can live our life as we are meant to live, right? And hidden fantasies. Some people do have hidden fantasies, but there's not a lot of fantasies. So in my school, my spiritual school community, we talk about how nothing is taboo. That there's some things in you that will excite you, and that's okay. There's some things in your partner that will excite your partner, and that's okay. You just need to learn how to work with them. It doesn't need to go into torture. It doesn't need to go into perversion. The reality is that we're so multi-complex, multi-dimensional, that a touch, a whisper from your partner and the touch right here can excite you. It doesn't have to be some crazy fantasy. Your partner can rub and massage your foot and that can excite you. Your partner can just give you a kiss, can just look at you in the eyes and that can excite you. The true essence of excitement and fantasies is the intention. The intention. Being present with your partner, loving your partner, co-creating with your partner, touching your partner, touching your partner's heart, your partner touching your heart. When you guys come together, what is the energy that you bring together? So you don't have to have hidden fantasies. You just need to understand truly who you are and what's going on in your body and what parts of your body excite you and what visually excites you. And what visually excites you and why? Where does it come from? Is it something that you learned? Is it something that you learned from being abused, from being dominated? Is it something that you learned from your parents? Is it something that you learned from sex ed? Is it something that you learned from porn? Being able to distinguish, where did I learn that this is how you do it, versus understanding what I really like, versus understanding what my partner really likes, versus understanding what excites me. You're not going to learn those things from external stimuli. You're going to learn those things from being present with yourself. So, when we watch high profile people fall from grace, what does it awaken in us about our own moods, shadow, or hidden fantasies? That you really need to sit with them, take them into account, because no matter how high you get in the status of this material world, your shadow self, if it's being ignored, your pain, your wounds, if it's being ignored, if your hidden fantasies are being ignored, they will come out and they will bite you, because they're going to explode, and you're going to take that explosion out on somebody else. And that somebody else, if they know their value, whoo, boy, they are coming for you. They are coming for you, and you're going to have to deal with it regardless, because you're going to have to deal with the circumstances. So it's better for you to understand who you are now, today, rather than letting it implode and get your ass in a nasty way. If you need help with that, your girl Jess is here. How do we heal from relationships where we felt both chosen and controlled? Ooh, this question I really felt, because feeling chosen after not being chosen, after being abandoned, after being neglected, oh my gosh, that feels like, it feels like coming home. But it's the artificial coming home. But if you never got the real thing, it'll feel so close to the real thing that you'll allow yourself to be controlled, and that's so rough. That is so rough. My heart goes out for all the people that feel like they were chosen, but they were chosen from such an abusive place. Oof. So how do we heal from that? It's a whole process. You need patience, you need grace, because you have to come back and you need to love yourself, and you need to understand, what does it feel to love every part of me, even the parts of me that I find so ugly, even the parts of me that I find bruised, even the parts of me that at this moment I don't even value, I feel ashamed about, I feel guilty about, I feel like, wow, just icky about it. You have to take the time to be with those parts and ask those parts of you, how do I love you? What do you need? How can I give you what you need? And allow yourself to receive that from yourself. Um, there's really quick um, there's really quick methods that you can do. One of them is right here, your shin, the outside of your shin. There's a massaging right here. There's a meridian point right here. I'll put it down in the description, but there's a meridian point right here that releases tension, and that releases and is connected to releasing happiness. And so just understanding, wow, when my body is relaxed, when my body is still, I can hear the conversations that it is having with me. I can hear what it is saying to me. I can hear what it wants from me. And I am willing to give this to my body. You have to really regenerate that energy that you lost. You're rebuilding yourself. You're literally rebuilding yourself. So taking the time to rebuild yourself, and you're going to make mistakes across the journey, and that's okay, because that just means that you're getting closer to loving yourself better and receiving love better. And you don't have to go out there and show up in the world from a broken place, because you are not broken. You are in process. You are in building. What is it? You are in experience. I hope you guys understand what I mean. So, how do we heal from relationships where we felt both chosen and controlled? You pick yourself. Choose yourself. And choose yourself from a place of love, from peace, from harmony, from understanding, from I see you, myself. I see you, soul. I hear you, soul. Speak to me, soul. Um, and do the activities and show up and do the things that rebuild your energy so that you can show up every day consistently better and better. Because the more consistent you are with it, the faster the process is. And you will get tested just to make sure that your foundation that you're building is strong. And when it is strong, you'll feel great, you'll feel confident, you'll feel blessed because you are blessed. You are the best you that you could be for yourself. And so you just have to accept that and take that in and be like, wow, I'm here to take care of you. I'm here to experience you. I'm here to love. Okay, last question. What would you say to the version of you that accepted crumbs because they were coded in power, fame, or validation? You learned what you needed to learn. Like, there was no better. I think I told my client that today. The best lesson is when you learn it yourself. I can tell you this and it can inspire you and you can be like, wow, yeah, I like that. But unless you learn it yourself, it's never fully integrated. There's some things I don't want to experience myself. And so I will take that lesson. I will be like, thank you for that. I'm going to do it the way that I need to. But there's some things that you just want to keep pushing and you're like, okay, if I do it this way, maybe I can expect a better outcome. And that's you lying to yourself. But it's okay because now that you've experienced it, it's hard, it's burdensome, it's rough, and you now have to pick up all those pieces and rebuild. But you inherently know what you want, you know what you don't want, you know what you went through, you know what you'd rather go through. So, what would you say to the version of you that accepted crumbs? It's okay. You accepted crumbs and now you can get the whole bread. Now we no longer accept crumbs, we accept bread. And they were coded in power, fame, or validation, but now they're coded in love, peace, and harmony. And that is so much more fueling, that is so much more fulfilling, that is so much more energizing, that when you show up, you are a whole power field. Like, you're a whole aura, you're a whole goddess or god. You got it. And so now when people see you, they're like, wow, I want to be you. But they don't know that by being you is going through a lot. And so share your truth. Share your truth with yourself first. Share your truth with those that want to hear it because they want to hear it so that they can learn and be better. And then allow people to go through the experiences that they have to go through. Say, okay, you're accepting crumbs right now, but if you want bread, reflect on why are you accepting crumbs? What are the crumbs actually nourishing? Are they nourishing neglect? Wouldn't you rather be nourishing being heard, being seen, being loved, instead of nourishing neglect? Because by accepting crumbs, you're actually nourishing what you don't want. And that's what we see from Cassie right now. She's nourishing what she does want. She's nourishing the type of love that she's always wanted, the type of support that she's always wanted, didn't receive in the past, but is now receiving now. She's decided, I'm walking away from that, cutting all ties, and I will testify for me. I will testify for you. I will testify for all those that are being abused and controlled, because this narrative is over. I have a new story. I have a new chapter. This baby needs to come out. That baby is learning so much power from Cassie's journey. And there's so many other people that are learning so much from that journey. And so don't be hard on yourself because you accepted crumbs. Don't be hard on yourself. Just understand yourself. Understand what you really want. Because that shadow, sometimes when it was never really integrated into the wholeness and never really valued, it will show up upside down. It will show you what you don't want, but thinking that that's what you want. So I hope that answered some questions. Those were all the questions. I feel like I have nothing else to say. If you guys do have questions, or you want me to go deeper and do a part 2, let me know in the comment section. Or else go to my page, book a program. Like I said, I can help you rebuild energy. I can help you guys build the foundation of what it truly means to love yourself authentically, in peace, in harmony, and to show up in the world as your true self. See you in the next video, guys.